Well, Utah HC is here. Played their first game yesterday in Des Moines, Iowa. The Blues had a little fun with the fact that technically their first ever goal was an own goal, which is kind of wild. I still can't believe it went down that way. Those are so rare to see in any game, let alone the first goal off the stick of your franchise. But today was really the big welcome to the NHL moment because it was the first game in Salt Lake City at the Delta Center, and they put on a pretty nice show for those fans. I love seeing stuff like this because you just know there are kids and just people in general in those stands today who absolutely fell in love with what they just saw on the ice and are going to be hockey fans for life, and that's awesome. And of course, you don't want to put too much stock at all in preseason, but regardless of that, I put this team on my dark horse list for this year. I think they've got a chance to be pretty good. That Sergachev trade is a game changer, I think. Gunther just signed a big extension. I think he, along with Cooley, are taking major steps this year. Keller's a star. Ingram Vimelka is a pretty good duo. They've got some really nice underrated wildcard pieces like Matthias Michelli and Josh Doan, and a good surrounding cast headlined, I think, by Lawson Krause and Sean Dursey. And speaking of those two, they link up on the first ever Utah HC goal on Delta Center ice. It was a beauty too. Great pass by Dursey. And pretty fitting, I think, that it was Krause who got it, because I think he's the leading candidate to be the first captain in Utah's history. Strictly Utah, of course, not the franchise itself. Liam O'Brien, aka Spicy Tuna, already endeared himself to these fans at the Meet the Team event a few months ago, but he got in a tilt and fired the crowd up afterwards, and made himself even more of a fan favorite if that was even possible. Got a feeling those number 38 jerseys are going to be flying off the shelves at the team store this year. As someone who adored Brian McGrattan when I was younger, I loved seeing this, and hockey fans love guys like this. Side note, what are your thoughts on the Kings going full-time to the Gretzky era logo and jerseys? Personally, I think they look clean. I like them a lot, but I can't help but wish they went back to these beauties. And as a nice way to wrap up the team's first game in Salt Lake, the team's biggest star, Clayton Keller, is the one who scores the overtime winner to send the fans home happy. With the additions they went out and made in the offseason, the young players who seem ready to take a step, the pretty solid core with guys like Keller, Schmaltz, Sergachev, Dursey, and Ingram, and also just the jolt you get from being in a new market, new fans, and actual NHL arena. It's been a couple of years since they've had that. I think playoffs are more than a real possibility for this group. And with the new owner who set the culture of, yeah, let's go out there and make some moves to get better, I wouldn't be surprised if Bill Armstrong and the gang have the green light to go do so during the season. They're going to be fun to watch. Give me your thoughts on this team heading into the season, playoffs, no playoffs, and just your thoughts on the Utah franchise as a whole so far. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. You're awesome.